I'm Alan Weiss, and this is The Writing on the Wall. Welcome back to Writing on the Wall. I love country music, you know. I flushed you down the toilet of my life, things like this. I'm pretty sure there was a song called Please Forgive Me. Patsy Cline, I don't know. Please forgive me, though. I can think of the tune. I won't burden you with my singing. So why do I talk about Please Forgive Me? It's not me personally. There's a big movement right now to forgive all student loan debt. Forgive it all, which means tell people who have debt not to pay it, which means it has to be paid somehow else, or somebody else is paying the price. So my first question is, why now? Why do students who now have debt get excused? Why not students who had debt and paid it off? Shouldn't that be retroactive? How far back do you go? 1810, 1920? When would that take place? What about people who paid for college? I paid for my kids' college. Should I be reimbursed? I paid for them. Should banks write off the loans and therefore hurt their investors? Should the taxpayers cover the forgiveness? Because that's what will happen. And if the government prints still more money, even more than they're printing now, to cover the forgiveness, that will simply cause more inflation and we'll wind up paying for that. You know, it's interesting to me, we have really excellent higher education in this country, from junior colleges to four-year colleges to grad schools. People from all over the world come to the United States for education, for higher education. Peter Drucker said once that if we counted that as part of our trade balance, we'd have a positive trade balance instead of an imbalance. Yet we have lousy primary and secondary schools. In public schools, lousy primary and secondary schools. I've gone on to about that in the past in terms of teachers' unions and so forth. But my point is that good students in the United States will get a good education no matter where they go. You can get a great education in a state school. You don't have to go to Harvard or Columbia. You make more connections there. I work with a guy in Princeton at a consulting firm who had a black book, pre-technology, of everybody he ever met when he went to Harvard for 4 years. The book was crammed with names, and he was sure that he would look up these people and they'd do something for him. Eventually, we fired the guy. He couldn't do a thing. So good students, no matter where they go, will get a good education. But a sloth is a sloth is a sloth. You're a sloth at a state school, you're a sloth in the Ivy League. That doesn't matter. Sloths don't get higher education. So if the current loans don't have to be repaid, that means everybody's going to stop making payments right now. And it means people seeking student loans are going to maximize them, maybe get a car in there, because they know in the future they probably won't have to pay those back. So my question is, among others, why don't we forgive, I don't know, home loans? Why don't we give car loans? I got some leased cars in my garage. Could we forgive them? I mean, what are the criteria here? We have safety nets for health and safety and equality. I understand that. But for debt? Aren't adults supposed to intelligently assess debt? Assess what they're capable of paying off and still have a roof over their heads and be able to get food? Shouldn't families be somewhat responsible for the sins of the children? I mean, what lessons are we creating here? I guess you can pursue a higher education, but not really be that smart.